Stirring the coffee with the quadruple vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, the year 2020. I'm excited. And my first cup of coffee. Nice. Ethiopian. I roasted this last week. It's so perfect. I trust that you had a great New Year's celebration, or at least contemplated 2019, where you needed to improve, what you were happy with, what needed to change, because 2020 is the year that you get unstuck. 2020 is a big year for you. I just feel it. I feel it inside. It's a big year for you. A year of change. Imagine having done time for something that is now legal. I probably would be fighting bitterness and cynicism, but think about this. There's stuff that is illegal now that will someday be 100% legal, acceptable, and actually encouraged. Clown world is what I call it. Remember when the word sick first came around to meaning good? First time I heard it was about Metallica's Black Album in like 1991. She said, "You're going to love this album. It's one of the sickest albums I've ever listened to." And I'm thinking, sickest? This is a sick album? It was the first time I heard that. I was scratching my head. If you haven't touched your beard for 7 years, just let it grow for 7 years without even touching it. Don't email me and talk to me about terminal length. I get people who grow their beard for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 and say, "I think I reached terminal length." 7 to 10 years, you might get terminal length. It might really slow down, but too much of the urban beard myth stuff running around the beard community. Enough already with the terminal length nonsense. Just grow your beard and enjoy it. And don't fret, don't worry. If your beard causes you to worry, shave the damn thing off. You don't need it. You need peace in your life more than you need a beard. Just because you can have a man bun doesn't mean you should have one. Make steaks, not mistakes. That was my motto yesterday as I ate my one meal a day. And I had a ribeye that was just, well, it was my best ribeye of the year. Yesterday I had a ribeye, January 1st, so I can say it was my best ribeye of the year. It was fantastic. I let it get to, I took it out and thawed it out a little bit, and then let it get to room temperature. Maybe not quite room temperature. Kept it covered. Put my steak spices on it, and then I made it in a cast iron pan on the stove, the one with the little lines on it, the ridges. And I got that thing fired up hot before I put the steak on it, like really hot. Like it's like sizzled the very second it touched the pan. It was unbelievable. And then I put some butter on it and then some Himalayan salt, and I was good. And that was my meal yesterday. All right, so let me tell you about Carnuary real quick. Carnuary is my word for January. I am doing one meal a day. That one meal is as much meat as I want. Usually it's a good size ribeye or you know, a pound or two or whatever of ground beef made into patties or something, meatballs or whatever, something interesting. So I'm having bulletproof coffee in the morning, which holds me over. I will go to work today. I will be fine all day. Late afternoon, I will make a steak. That's what I will do. That is my one meal a day. Now, I am taking things like gift cards and stuff like that that I got, you know, gift cards, Christmas money, that kind of just stuff like that. And I'm buying meat with it. So my meat is paid for Carnuary. And I'm going to make a ton of biltong, which I will snack on. I'll probably make that. I'll probably get that meat later today, cut it up, dry it, and that'll be good for, you know, it's good for about 30 days if you keep it cool. If you keep it in the refrigerator, it's good for 90 days in the freezer. But I usually go through it so fast. So if I get a little bit of hunger, I just eat a couple pieces of biltong and I'm fine. Will I be doing 100% carnivore for January? I don't know yet. I used to just cheat like on the weekends. I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out because today is Thursday. So we'll see what happens this weekend. But Carnuary is when I kind of tighten up, lean up, and build the biltong body that I started building last year. And that's my meal plan for January, and I feel great. I woke up this morning and I had a pint of water, just drink it right away before I did anything. And that's a good thing to do, and I'll probably drink a liter of water throughout the day. Now in the wintertime, I don't drink as much water because I'm not as thirsty. In the summer, I could drink 2 to 3 liters of water easily. In the winter, not so much. Usually when I go to the gym, I will take a bottle of water with me, the liter bottles, and that'll usually be gone by the end of my workout. But if I don't go to the gym, that's probably one less bottle of water that I drink. Got a great story for you. First of all, if you're not subscribed to my brother Tony Bruno's channel, please do it. I'll put the information down below. Great guy, great channel. You'll like him. Completely different content than what I do. And it's amazing that we are products of the same parents. But I think you'll like him if you subscribe to his channel. That would be cool. I say this, you can red pill a guy in 5 minutes if he's ready for it. And that came from a story from my brother, which I doubt he will tell on his channel. But he is at a bar on New Year's Eve. He's with a bunch of friends, and you know, he says, "Hey, anybody want water?" And they said, "Yeah." So he went to the bar to get like 3 waters for his friends. And a woman comes up. A woman is right there, and she's and Tony dresses nice. He always has like nice sport coats, and he had, I guess, like a suede microfiber sport coat. And a woman comes up, she goes, "Ooh, that's a nice jacket." And she feels it, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I just got it. Thank you," like that. And within a couple seconds, some big like dude comes over and says, "Hey, that's my wife. You know, you touching her and she's touching you." And he says, "Dude," he says, "I'm just here getting water. You know," he says, "I didn't touch your wife. She approached me. I didn't do a thing." And the guy was getting all intimidating. And then the bartender said, "Hey, why don't you come on over here, dude?" You know, and kind of like calmed things down. So my brother gets his waters and goes over to his friends, and he sees the guy across the bar in a crowded, you know, crowded bar looking at him. And Tony points to him and says, "Come here." The guy comes over And the guy actually says, hey dude, I'm really sorry. And Tony's no guy to mess with. He's a combat, what do you call it? Judo, jiu-jitsu guy. You know what I'm talking about? Combat, sports kind of thing. Like, he's afraid of nobody. Like, he's shorter than me, but he acts like he's 7 foot tall, but he's shorter than me. And he's a real tough dude and just has zero fear in his life. He's just, that's the kind of guy he is. And he's super well trained. He's got the wherewithal to back it up. And the dude came over and apologized to my brother. And my brother, who was chill and confident, said, it's all right, dude. Like, don't worry about it. And the guy just said, he says, you know, my wife, she's cheated on me in the past. And he says, I'm just always, you know, on edge about that when she's around other men. And my brother said, dude, look, here's my business card. Call me sometime. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's, you know, I can probably help you with that. And the guy was like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Happy New Year's. And they shook hands. And that's how it ended. Very peacefully. If it wasn't peaceful, most likely the guy would have gotten hurt. That's how I look at it. But he was fragile because of past experiences. And that leads me to this, that no matter how you look on the outside, no matter how rock solid you are, you can be very fragile on the inside. And I said to Tony, I said, there, you almost red-pilled the guy right there. I said, do you think he's ready? And he says, I think he's ready. I said, good. So he's probably going to meet the guy for a cup of coffee. I said, invite him to the gym with you. Have him work out with you. That would be cool. So when I say red-pilled, I mean having your eyes opened. I'm not talking about the misogynistic BS that the red pill is usually associated with. But the guy was red-pilled about life in just a few minutes. And he's just about ready to see, quote-unquote, see the light. And you can be that way with people. That's why I said you can red pill a guy in 5 minutes, but only if he is ready for it. On the outside, tough guy. On the inside, hurting man. Hurting. What would you do, men, if you had a wife that cheated on you often and she was really beautiful? What would you do? Put your answer down below. I think I know what you would do. Christian married women on Twitter can be some of the biggest troublemakers I've ever seen. They're no different than the feminists that they claim to despise. They stalk and creep masculine men because they're probably not receiving something at home. I don't know what that something is, but why would a happily married Christian woman be following guys in the manosphere, stalking them? You know why? Because Twitter is their romance novel. Twitter is their 50 Shades of Grey without them actually owning a copy of 50 Shades of Grey, because that would not be approved of in their Christian home. So they read Twitter and follow masculine Twitter for thrills, and then try to give a sermon or lecture the masculine community when they say something that they don't agree with. Like I said, troublemakers. Gentlemen, I can prove that you are a liar. She asks you, does my ass look big in these jeans? What do you say? It's not a mystery. Most people's Twitter feed is really their journal, their confessions, and their autobiography. Very little on Twitter is just objective, good information. You want to find out about somebody, look at their Twitter. They can't help themselves. Classic green army figures practicing yoga instead of holding guns. Interesting little things that you can buy. Completely soy, if you ask me. Nat King Cole's 1951 song Unforgettable was originally written as Uncomparable. I'm glad the producer, who was friends with Nat King Cole, had a feeling that Unforgettable would do better. And it did. Such a great song. This is true synergy between an artist and their producer at its best. Unforgettable. Look up the song. You'll love it. If your relationship or friendship is based upon you keeping your mouth shut, that repressed and muted opinion will work its way out through stress in your mind and your body. You've heard people say, I'm just keeping my mouth shut. When you keep your mouth shut and you can't express yourself honestly and truly, it comes out as stress. You must be able to communicate in your relationships. If not, you must have a confidant somewhere that you can talk to. All love is conditional, and that will be the biggest relationship breakthrough realization that you will ever have. There is no such thing as unconditional love. You've heard people say, if you want unconditional love, get a dog. Coffee game changer. Heat your milk or cream up first, put it in the mug, and then pour the coffee. Add the coffee to the warmed milk or cream. Better yet, froth up that cream with your $2.99 IKEA frother, and you will have a killer cup. And that's what I'm drinking. I find Wim Hof absolutely empty and meaningless. I've heard a lot of people talking about him and mentioned on social media. Finally, I listened to him. What the hell are they thinking? You're reading into shit that isn't even there. Empty. Empty. You get some guy speaking with an accent, talking about something, some BS, and all the sheep just go along with it. Oh, but he's done world records. I don't care if he sat in an ice bath for a year. It doesn't matter to me. And he doesn't even feel it. And he hiked Mount Everest in his bare feet, in his underwear. Like, whatever. Whatever, dude. Okay. All right, Kwai Chang. Come on. I thought you were deeper than that. No marriage could ever last if both parties always told the truth. Think about that for a second. Do you want to have a better beard? Have better skin? Beard grows out of skin. So whatever is good for the skin will be good for the beard. Your beard is not some detached appendage that needs special care. No need for excessive beard products. Do what is good for your skin, and you'll have a beautiful beard. Enough of the hocus pocus around beards. Happy New Year to Phil from Briar Report. And I told him this is the year that we sit down and have a pipe and maybe a cup of coffee. And thank you for your massive behind-the-scenes efforts with BRTV and wrangling all those pipe personalities together under one roof. I know it's not a small feat. And you do it well, Phil. So Phil, I'll take a sip for you, give you early morning coffee cheers. Did you get any God winks in the past day or two? I got one yesterday and it was perfectly reassuring. You know what a God wink is? When you know that God is doing something for you, you just get like a little sign. I just started using that word God wink about 2 years ago. And it's literally the Lord just showing you something. You're hearing something, and it just puts a little peace in your heart and lets you know that God is there. A God wink. 2020 is the year that you get unstuck. Be unstoppable this year. You know, I've said this for the longest time. You're going to hear something on this show that's going to spark something in you that will make you unstoppable and unrecognizable by other people. So by the end of 2020, you can look completely 100% different. 100%. Think different. Act different. Earn different. 2020 is the year that you get unstuck. Barbers and stylists, this is for you. Get to know every hotel concierge and every doorman within 10 miles of you. Groom them for free once a week. You could have your chair or every chair in your salon or barbershop filled in a month or two, easily. You could be open 18 hours a day, and you could possibly have $1 million business in 1 year if you try this business model. It's about connecting people and people getting connected to you. Talk to people who interact with people. Hook them up, and they will hook you up. But you have to make the first move. The world is filled with people losing or missing something and then filling that void with something completely inappropriate, inadequate, temporary, or all three. And then grieving when that thing or person exits. You can't control the road or the terrain, but you can control what kind of shock absorbers are in your life. And also just make sure that you are nobody's rough road. I can see it took so long just to realize I'm much too strong not to compromise. Now I see what I am is holding me down. I'll turn it around. I finally see the dawn arriving. I see beyond the road I'm driving, far away and left behind. Boston, 1978. Most new red-pilled dudes blame everything on a woman and very few take ownership of what they've allowed in their life. Own your shit. Own it. Because the crap in your life, 9 times out of 10, you let it happen. 2020 is a year of ownership. Taking responsibility for everything that's in your life, not just the good things, even the bad things. Very few bad things are just random. Very few of us are purely blindsided. We might have brought that stuff into our lives somehow, some way. Based Poland says, just a reminder that Poland is the safest country for women in the EU, and we are trying to keep it that way. Imagine that Poland is the safest nation in Europe. What lies have you believed in the past that you were totally red-pilled on now? What lies have you believed? Put your answer down below. I'd like to see that. What is the biggest scam of the 19th century? What is the biggest scam of the 20th century? What is the biggest scam of the 21st century? So what are the biggest scams of the 1800s, the 1900s, and the 2000s? All answers are welcome. Put your answer down below. Do you want to be edgy? Tell the truth. The problem with being a carnivore is that you become as much of a pain in the ass as a vegan at a dinner party. Figure your stuff out, eat meat, drink water, and shut up. The old folks used to say, figure out what you want in life and go for it. Imagine that. Does anyone here use a Fitbit? Do you have a Fitbit on your hand? Do you find the data useful to you? Activity tracking, sleep tracking. Did you try it and then it was too much trouble? You tried it for a year, or you didn't like it, or you went through your Fitbit phase in life. Let me know down below. I'm thinking of getting one, but I'm not so sure that it's not a fad with me or just a little phase I'm going through. But I'd like to hear your fitness tracker, activity tracker experiences. What do you think? Put it down below. What decisions have you made or failed to make in the past that powerfully influence your life today? Put your answer down below. I'd love to hear that. How do I coach people? It goes like this. Know where you are. Take responsibility for where you're at. It didn't just happen to you. Feel bad about it. Feel bad about making a bad decision and have remorse. Literally have remorse. You need to have remorse for taking that road. You came to a fork in the road and you took the wrong way. Feel bad about it. Take responsibility for that. Make a decision that things are going to be different in the future. Create an action plan to accompany that. List the things that you will give up and the things that you will change in order to get to where you want to go. And earn more. Do something to earn more money. Get a side hustle somehow, some way. I don't care if it's eBay, or selling things on Craigslist, or having a part-time job working 1 or 2 hours somewhere extra a day. Those are great solutions and a great way, a great template for changing your life. A furniture manufacturer in Honeybrook gives employees the option of an hourly wage or a piecework rate. He has a handful of Amish young men on staff. Upon hiring, the Amish always choose the piecework rate. They always make 2 to 3 times more than their hourly wage counterparts. Think about that. If you gain 50 to 60 pounds, all your jeans look like skinny jeans. I took a poll. I said, ladies, what is your favorite house chore? 49% said cooking and baking, 22% said cleaning, 12% said laundry, and 17% said food shopping. So it looks like cooking and baking are the top choices. Can you imagine advocating for felons and inmates' voting rights as a means to grow your political party? Pretty crazy, huh? I took a poll. I said, pick one. 39% said Harley Davidson, 37% said Indian, and 24% said Honda. What do you say? What is your favorite motorcycle? If you are an American, you should be America first. If you are Polish, you should be Poland first. Basically, that means that you take care of your own people before you take care of the world, and fighting other nations' battles and sending our sons to die on foreign soil for nothing that benefits us. It's really that simple. Patriotism and nationalism is a beautiful thing for that country. If you're an American, you should be America first. There's my speech about Americanism. Success leaves clues. It's not about talent or being special. It's about a willingness to do what it takes. Think about that. What beliefs do you have that no longer serve you? It may be time to abandon those beliefs. I can probably help you with that. Working after your mid-60s, when you're older, is not about making money. It's about neurological balance, productivity, usefulness, social interaction, and the neurological benefits of risk and reward and other things that give the brain a workout and keep it healthy. Those things are important. I'm begging you, do not retire. If you are retiring from a job, if you're older, take another job. Part-time. Something. Be productive. You'll live longer. Show me someone who watches TV and sits on the computer constantly, searching on the web, playing on the web, and I'll show you someone who is antisocial, someone who is going to have a shorter life, who is making other people's lives miserable. I tell elderly people all the time, turn off the damn TV, get off of the computer, get away from them. They're not doing you any good, and they're not doing the people that love you any good, because you're being a pain in their ass. You need to get out of the city. You need to get out of the city, and you know who you are. The city is not a good place for you to be. Get out of the city. For many years, people called me the Mr. Rogers for adults. Fred Rogers wasn't a beastly warrior that I always wanted to be, but what he was, I am willing to accept. Persistent, consistent, stable, peaceful, understanding, quick to listen, slow to anger, and very strategic. I will take those qualities any day of the week. Save the man and save the West. Save the country. Lose the man and lose the country. Men are important. Growing up, I had a fully stocked bar in the house. My parents did. Wasn't under lock and key. There were guns in the house. There was ammunition, knives, traps, chainsaws, dangerous things, power tools. Nothing was locked up. If you touched any of those things, your ass got kicked. And you only did that maybe once. Also, we had a heavy bag, a speed bag, a weight bench, free weights, and some dumbbells in the basement. That's how you raise boys. Boldly ask the unaskable in order to get answers that are ungivable. Think about that. If you had a little outbuilding that wasn't a garage, What would you use it for? Would it be a little gym? Would it be an art studio? Would it be a music or jam studio? Would it be a library or a study? A pipe or cigar room? Something for manufacturing? Would you turn it into a little residence, like an Airbnb? What would you do with it? Would you use it for something that produces income? If you had a little outbuilding that wasn't a garage, what would you use it for? I'd like to see your answer down below. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow. 2020 is here. I can't believe it. Look at the sun came up. I've been talking so long. First Daybreak Show of 2020. So I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.